Miapa Constituency Chairman, Dr. Benjamin Jamashi Alabama. Campaign Advisor Dr. Jele is in our midst. Senior Campaign Advisor Dr. Susan Allo is in our midst. We have in our midst the commander of all the MPP loyal ladies in the house. Virus Ampofo is in the house. Le miantoma mianto tobi mama mianto miavi ntepo wala American Deputy Minister of Sports, Deputy Minister of Information, now Deputy CEO for MPA, Honorable Perry Kobla Okujeto Elapama. Your own very hard-working MC, Honorable Emmanuel Gamaga Elapama. Lemiaduma Miapa Regional Minister, Honorable Dr. Archibald Yao Lecture Alabama. Lemiaduma, former press secretary to President Bufo, former general secretary of our party, and now a senior advisor, Honorable Engineer Kobna Eji Ajapon, Lemiaduma. Thank you. Lemiaduma, former regional minister, former minister for chieftaincy and religious affairs, now the CEO for Bui Power and also senior advisor, Honorable Kofi Jamashi Alabama. Choboi, Lemiaduma, mianto, miavi, mianto, miafo, my regional chairman, your regional chairman, Honorable Makafui Kofi Wanya. Choboi, Pabio Mamao, Papiana Value, Tomanami, Babaglo, Apoyama, Keta, Yuvaga, Piano, the Parliament, Apoyama, you're not chicken Yamachima. House of Kekin, at the Parliament. Lecture, the next member of Parliament. Courage, hope, Lekeke. To win, Pablo Mamao, I have the singular honor to introduce to you the most humble Vice President Ghana has ever produced. I introduce to you the digital Vice President of our time. I introduce to you the most effective Vice President Ghana has ever had. I introduce to you the next President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency, Dr. Bawumia. Thank you. Yo, Nyaichi, Alabama Champo Goma. You have 2 minutes. Apart from the Fiacam program, I'm looking at 2 minutes. Yacha Goma. Yacha Goma. So, Yapa Muslim Yoji, Amayan Umba Pumromaya, Ibrahim Mohammed, Nabi Blackburn.
Good morning. Anh chị dùng mặt trà bơ nhưng mà bây giờ Nobi His Excellency Dr. Bawumia lebih adoma banyak bantu kami kuduma Nanapa Bawumia apa Bawumia Bawumia Biko dobe Asia na tapatam Biko dobe Asia na tapatam Ikaba agba luba maproba Keta alili manyaba mapurpoto jim ma topo jim ma yimbaji a no mo da kamalu miapa bodotora na agba makonya ba mia novi His Excellency Dr. Mamudu Bawumia nganya miapa napo jiruru yeba miapa ba fianono Mia ko jibia la pe monya ba miapa nia His Excellency na ko jiruru yeba jujuru ina na mia ko jina gala yeba jiruru ina ba jijo ko pa na yeba gala ko ta macho ni ko ya ya ba ya ba ba yebi na ko ni ya saba ya ke o pa na mia ya ba ya ko ko na na ya bibi anya sa ya to para ya kata mia ko jibia la pe jiruru akina na kajibu Bawumia na nabi ko na na Bawumia na kamera mia ko jura na sa ka kanini ko ni ya ba ti majiju na ba inshallah
Thank you. Atabir. Thank you very much. Now we are going to Osofubo, America Anungo, Apunde, Miapo Osofu, Reverend Luopo, Yahweh Blackbird. His Excellency the Vice President, Togyo, all protocols observed. We thank God very much for this day. We are in a season that is a campaign season when everybody is going around trying to court the favor of the people. We thank God very much for our Vice President. He has done a lot for this country. We are moving on. We want, if God will allow it and it comes to power, we in Keta, we want our town rules to be done. They have done something for us. We saw this school here has been a project of Bishop Koshina. I was the one he tasked to find this place. I found this place. I wrote the letter. If you go to assembly, my letter is there. My signature. What we want to see is progress and development for this important area of Ghana. And whoever will do that, may God bless that person. Whoever has the mind to do that, may God let that person come to power. God bless you. Thank you very much. And the only person that will do that for you is the man seated there. By the grace of God, you will win and will answer your prayers. Thank you. We go ahead and take a statement of this couple.
And all the Togo and all the Mama Burrito. Permit me to stand on the existing protocol. You are all welcome this morning to NMDC Keta. I am standing here with my team. I have my board chair, that is Togwe Session or Togwe Abotagwa Session, who is my board chairman. And I also have my board member, Dr. Stakeholder, Director of Health Services. We also have the Stakeholders Chairman, Mr. our Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Bawumia, for what he has done for LMTC Keta. A while ago, that was on the 23rd of April 2024, there was a heavy rainstorm that hit the municipality, and I called for help. We appealed for support, and he quickly came to our aid. This is auditorium. This is very auditorium, for which we are all gathered here today. We don't have too many words to say. God bless you. We are so grateful for all you have done for us. Without that, we wouldn't have been able to admit all our first years. And we can see that they are happy and they are excited. God bless you. God bless you. Yes. Just like Oliver Twist. Your Excellency, please, the school economy has many other needs. And we are appealing to your kind and good office. Please still come to our aid. Your Excellency, sir, we need laptops for effective teaching and learning. We also need the laptops for our online examination.
Let me tell you.
So we need the laptops
Charlie,
for our
come on,
teaching
Nila.
and learning and our online examination. We also need projectors for effective teaching in your college. Projectors. We also need motorbikes to be able to train our public health nurses. Your Excellency, sir, we also need classroom chairs. Our classroom chairs are not enough. We need, anytime the lights go off, we are unable to study, the students are not able to study. So we are also begging and appealing for a generator or a plan. Thank you. Thank you very much. We are grateful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Students, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, we will take another statement from Togbe Akolache, the fifth of KG, on behalf of the chiefs. Thank you.
Thank you, His Excellency, our Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, and his team, Tokyo, Mama, the clergy, our dear brothers and mom, and other stakeholders gathered here. To Ukudorama, Mark the Legend of Government, the President, the Vice President, we are privileged today to have you in our midst. On behalf of the traditional authorities in this constituency, we are so privileged to have you. We've been following keenly all your exploits and the message of bold solutions that you have for the future for this country. We are excited, and we chiefs and traditional authorities, our politics is all about development and what have you. And these days, particularly the job for our youth
the team youth. You can see that the hall is even dominated by youth. And we know what you have done and continue to do. Your government or our government has been very developmental oriented, and the footprints of this development are everywhere to see. Even here in Keta, and particularly Keji, where the Keta port is located, we want to use this opportunity to thank you for the preliminary work that has commenced. We believe that God will continue to bless you so that you can continue the good work that the government has started. We know a lot of things that you have initiated and that have touched lives of everybody, and Keta is no exception. The free HSS is no exception. Free SHS, sorry. It's not free. It's not free. Free SHS is no exception. And that is why the youth are all excited. And all the innovative ideas that you have brought to bear on all of us here. We are beneficiary, each and every one of us, including me, the chiefs, are beneficiary of some of your innovative ideas that you have led. It is our belief that the bold solutions that you are espousing will come to bear on us when God bless and your design come to pass. I was looking at the banner behind us when I was sitting there, and I saw this particular tagline: to lead is to solve or to serve. We as chiefs and as leaders, our responsibility is to serve. So when I saw this tagline that to lead is to serve, I think you have acquitted yourself reasonably as a vice president. And I particularly will be surprised if you have not been part of this contest. It is our prayer and the prayer of the cause and also the Almighty that He continue to bless you, give you strength for the few weeks that we have ahead of us, so that we can have a very successful and peaceful elections, and let the Almighty bless your heart desire, so that we can continue to feel your development that you have planned for this country, and all the policies that you have planned for this country. I know that God will not let you down. And we know, some of us know the value that you espouse, and that you strongly uphold values of integrity, honesty, hard work. And these are our values here in Agno. These are some of the values that we also espouse and hold dear to ourselves. So we share a common value. And I know this moral authority that you have stand for will compel you exponentially to a former authority, and it shall allow, as we always say, we shall surely make it. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Toby Akolache. Now the hour has come. The hour has come for us to listen to the next president of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Bawumia. Thank you. Togwil Mamo, our revered the principal of NMTC Keta, students of NMTC Keta, the people of Keta, Medekuku, Benyimanami. I am very privileged, very honored to have the opportunity to be in Keta today. I stand here as the presidential candidate for the new Patriotic Party for the 2024 election. I am going around the country touring every constituency, all 276 constituencies. And by the grace of God today, I have arrived in Keta constituency. Wherever I go to, I have this meeting, which I call a stakeholders meeting. I meet with the owners of the constituency. The owners are the chiefs, the reverend ministers, the imams, the nurses, the teachers, and other stakeholders in the community, so that I can listen to their concerns and their needs. And if, by the grace of God, opportunity to become I am a person who believes in solving problems, in making things possible. And that is my mindset, and that has been my mindset in life, to make things possible. I believe that I can offer myself as president to transform Ghana into a modern, prosperous country. A country that we will make sure we don't leave anybody behind. We don't leave any group behind. We don't leave women behind. We don't leave the youth behind. We don't leave us behind. We carry everybody to prospects and prosperity in Ghana. And that is the mindset I work in. I believe with God all things are possible. And my own life tells me that. I have been a farm laborer before. I have been a cleaner before. I have been a taxi driver before. But today I'm standing before you as Vice President of Ghana and a presidential candidate. God made that possible. I'm so happy to be in Keta NMTC today. At the time, I think when you had the disaster, and the chairman of the party, Bawumia, sent me an SOS message to say that Keta NMTC needed urgent help with their roofing and all of that because of the disaster. When he sent me the pictures, and when I saw the pictures, I didn't hesitate at all. I said, how much is it? He told me, and I sent what was required. And God being so good today, I'm under the roof of the very building that He helped to put together. It is unbelievable. And sometimes God does things that we don't understand. And He uses all of us for different things. That's how God works. And so today, God has brought me here, and the principal has made certain requests for NMTC. So I believe God is talking to me through the principal that I should do something for NMTC. So I'm going to listen. I know that you have requested laptops, a projector, motorbikes, generator. I'm going to provide them for you. So
when I get back to Accra, you will hear from me. I will make sure you have those logistics that you have requested. Tobeo, Mamo, our revered men and women of God, our imams and chiefs of the Zobo community. I have, over the last 8 years, been the vice president, and the policies that we have advocated and implemented over the last 8 years have been policies that have been largely broad-based and inclusive policies. In the 2016 election, we made a major promise to the people of Ghana that we were going to bring free senior high school education to Ghana. It was a bold promise, and our opponents said we were lying to Ghanaians. They said it was 419. They said it was not possible. But I said, by the grace of God, it is possible. We can do it. So when we won the election and we came into office, the president called me in January and asked me, can we do free SHS this year? And I said, Mr. President, we can start free SHS this year. And so we proceeded to put free SHS in the budget in March of 2017. And for the last 8 years in Ghana, 5.7 million children have gone to senior high school free. And what is heartwarming for me is that when we started in 2017, there were more boys than girls in senior high school. For every 100 boys, we had 68 girls. And then we opened the door to free senior high school education. And somehow, over the last 8 years, now there are more girls than boys in senior high school. Today, for every 100 boys, you have 106 girls in senior high school. So the girls have overtaken the boys. And that shows good progress for Ghana. That is very good for us. And you can imagine what Ghana is going to be like in another 10, 15 countries across. Today in Accra, the middle class, they can't find housemates in Accra. The parents of the girls have come and taken them all and put them all in school. And so that is good for Ghana. And I'm really looking forward to the future. We have to maintain free SHS and this country will be transformed, because education is the one sure way of lifting people out of poverty. It's really very important, and that is very, very important for us to do so. When we started in 2016, you know, when we started at the end of 2016, even chalk in senior high school was a problem. Chalk was a problem. But today, we are buying computer tablets, and we are going to give every senior high school student a tablet from every student. Every student will get a tablet. That is unprecedented. And their textbooks will be on the tablets. And we are also doing so for teachers. All teachers in Ghana, from kindergarten to senior high school teachers, are getting laptops. One teacher, one laptop. So far, 98% of teachers have received their laptops. 98%, and we are doing mop-up now. And so that tells you where we are going. We have also restored the teacher training allowances, which were cancelled. And Immediately the allowances were cancelled, we made a promise that we will restore them. Because these allowances are very important to the students. Very, very important. We made the same promise with the nursing training allowance. For those of us from relatively poorer parts of the country, we understand the importance of these allowances because the students depend on them and their families also depend on them. So when they were cancelled, I said no way, we are bringing back the allowances. And we have brought back the allowances. Today, we have also brought free technical and vocational education to Ghana. Technical and vocational education is now free, just like senior high school education. And because the world is now a world of skills, and we want our students to acquire skills. So we have brought free technical and vocational education, and we have invested the largest amount in technical and vocational education by any government in the last 30 years. We have done 6 billion Ghana cedis of investment in technical and vocational education and retooled all our technical and vocational schools. We have also uplifted the National Ambulance Service. When we came into government, Ghana had only 37 ambulances in the National Ambulance Service. It was virtually collapsed. And so we said one constituency, one ambulance. Let's make sure we have ambulances all across the country. Today, we have 307 ambulances across in the National Ambulance Service. And no district has been left out. In addition to this, we have brought in drones to help the health system. Drones to deliver medicines, to deliver blood, to deliver vaccines across the country. I had a personal experience, and this is the background to us bringing the drones to Ghana. In 2002, my father was operated upon in Tamale Teaching Hospital. That night, he was losing blood. The doctors rushed out and said we needed blood. We rushed to the blood bank and it was locked. Nobody was there. We were looking for the person who controlled the blood bank. We didn't find. We rushed into town looking for his house. We didn't find. Before the morning, my father had passed away. So that was in 2002. That stuck in my mind. So when we came into office, in 2018, I found out, I read an article about a company in the United States of America called Zipline, and that this company had come up with a new technology with drones that could deliver blood in emergency, anti-snake serum for people who have snake bites, women who are losing blood in childbirth, in villages and so on. And so when I read this, I said, wow, if this technology was around in 2002, my father would probably still be alive. So I took a team and we went to San Francisco to meet this company. And I told them, we need your technology in Ghana because we are losing lives needlessly. After some persuasion and discussion, they agreed to come. And they have set up 6 medical drone delivery centers in Ghana. And we are delivering emergency medicines to 2,700 hospitals and health facilities in Ghana. And it is saving lives every day. You know, every day we are saving lives. And today, what is very, very remarkable about Ghana's medical drone delivery are 2 things. Number one, all the drone centers are manned by Ghanaians. No single foreigner is involved in the drone operations. All the flight operators, the pharmacists, everybody. we insisted that our people should be trained to man those centers. So we have a lot of expertise. That is one. Number two, the whole world now, Ghana is now the leading medical drone delivery service in the whole world. The whole world. A few months ago, the US Vice President Kamala Harris was congratulating Ghana for taking the lead, and they are now about to start medical drone delivery in the United States of America. The UK is also thinking about starting, but Ghana has taken the lead globally in medical drone delivery. So it is possible. It is possible. When we came also, we saw that there was a problem in many hospitals because people could go to the hospital and they will be told that their folder is missing. You know that? That your folder is missing, because if you see the way the folders are piled up, if they are looking for your folder, it may take a long time. And so you'll be told your folder is missing. We're getting a lot of reports. So we said, let us digitalize all the medical records. Put every record in the computer. So we embarked on this project, and thanks to God, we have completed for all the teaching hospitals in Ghana. We've put all the records in the computer. All the regional hospitals in Ghana, we've digitalized all the records, and all the district hospitals in Ghana, we have all the records. And next year we'll complete CHIPS compounds and polyclinics. So we have gone very far in digitalizing. So today, if for example you are referred from Keta to Ho or to Kolebu, you don't need a folder. Go with your ID to Kolebu or Ho, they'll put it in the system, and all your medical records will be available to the medical doctor to treat you. We have also introduced Agenda 111 after COVID, because we realized that many districts in Ghana did not have district hospitals. And so I submitted a proposal which the president agreed to, and we are building 111 hospitals at the same time across the country. And many are above 70% complete. We will commission some this year and the remainder next year. So, and when we do that, we will be able to recruit 70,000 nurses and health personnel for the Agenda 111 hospital. We have also brought in other policies like the Zongo Development Fund to help our Zongo communities. We have completed over 200 projects in the Zongo communities, giving over 1,000 scholarships, taking about 40 students to study medicine in Cuba from the Zongo communities. So it is making sure everybody is included. We have also embarked on a policy of broad digitalization. But I'm going to talk about 3 things that we have done which are very important, and I'll tell you why they are important soon. Firstly, we've done the Ghana card, which gives Ghana for the first time in our history a national identity database where everybody is uniquely identified. With the Ghana card, you cannot hide in this system now. Everybody is uniquely identified. With the Ghana card, you have your biometrics, you have your iris, and so you cannot claim to be somebody else, because your fingerprints, your iris will betray you. The Ghana card is now linked to your tax ID. It's your tax identification number now. Now you don't have to apply for TIN number, because your tax identification number is your Ghana card number. So your SNIT number is your Ghana card number. Your NHI number is your Ghana card number. It is linked to your SIM card. Every SIM card is identified by a Ghana card number. It's linked to your bank account, to be linked to your driver's license, your passport, and everything. So there's no way you can get away without the Ghana card, because everybody is uniquely identified. And that is why when students now want a student loan, we don't ask for guarantee, because we know where we can find you. And so the Ghana card has become the guarantor for the student loan program. We have also taken an additional step of registering the Ghana card internationally with the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO. The Ghana card is the only one among the African countries that has gone through all these ICAO steps and has gotten approval. And so now the Ghana card is recognizable in 44,000 airports and border points across the world. And so today, if you happen to travel outside Ghana, and you are in China, America, UK, Saudi Arabia, Senegal, wherever, if your passport gets missing, because the Ghana card is now ICAO certified, you can take your Ghana card and board a plane and come back to Ghana. We are the only African country where we are able to do this. You can take your Ghana card and board a plane and come back to Ghana. The Ghana card is also helping us in the fight against corruption. One of the biggest problems we had in the public sector is the ghost workers problem. And people collecting pay on behalf of people who don't go to work. We call them ghost workers. And it has been a problem for a very long time in government, public sector payroll. So when we issued the Ghana card, I had this idea that we can use the Ghana card to catch the ghost workers. Because one thing ghost workers or ghosts don't have is fingerprint. The ghosts don't have a fingerprint. So if you take the Ghana card, you can catch a ghost. And so we went to the public sector. We started with snakes. So I called John Ofori, who was the Director General at SNIT. I said, we are coming to start the pilot in your place. We are going to match every pensioner with their Ghana card. So when we went to SNIT and did the matching, we found 29,000 ghost pensioners on the SNIT payroll. 29,000. We've taken them off. We've saved SNIT 400 million Ghana cedis. 400 million Ghana cedis. We went to National Service Secretariat. We found 44,000 ghost service personnel. And then we've taken them all off. And we've saved National Service over 300 million Ghana cedis. We took it to Controller and Accountant General. And we have wiped out all the ghost workers on that payroll. And so today we can say in all confidence in Ghana that we don't have ghost workers on our payroll anymore, thanks to the Ghana card. The second thing that we did when we came into office was to look at addresses in Ghana, the address system. You know, it was the case that if you lived in a nice neighborhood, you will have a street name and an address and a house number. But most places in Ghana, most houses did not have addresses. All villages and so on, the places like Nima and Agbogblochi in Accra and so on, many of the zongos that you go to, there were no addresses. And so any serious country, any modern country must have an address system. I say to people that if you go to America today, Germany, England, Canada, and you collapse their address system, their economy will collapse. Because everything works around the address of people. So we looked at it and said, how does Ghana get an address system? It became very cumbersome to go by street names and so on. So we decided to go digital, to leverage on GPS and implement a digital property address system so that every house will have a digital address. When we proposed this, Because no country had done it in Africa, many people said it was not possible. But I said, by the grace of God, it is possible. We can do a digital property address system. And we have done a digital property address system. There is no house in any town or village, no location. It can be a kiosk, it can be a wayside, anywhere has a digital address in Ghana. So it is now very easy to go from one place to another to find any location in Ghana. So we've solved the problem of digital address or an address system in Ghana. And Ghana, by the way, is only the second country in the whole world to implement a comprehensive digital property address system. We are the second country. Then the third problem we faced was that most Ghanaians did not have a bank account. Over 70% of Ghanaians did not have a bank account. That was again another problem, because in economics we know that for any economy to prosper, the people must be included in the financial system. But if 70% are excluded, then you cannot go far as a country. Many people had Momo accounts, but not bank accounts. But the Momo accounts were limited, because if you had MTN, you couldn't transfer money to somebody with Vodafone, or you couldn't transfer somebody to somebody with Airtel TV. If you had a Momo account, you couldn't transfer money into a bank account. If you had a bank account, you couldn't transfer money into a Momo account. But a lot of people had Momo accounts. So what was in my mind and what I wanted to address was, how can we turn the Momo account into a bank account? How can we make the Momo account just like a bank account? So I came up with this idea that Ghana should implement what we call mobile money interoperability, which means make the mobile companies one to the other interoperable, and make Momo also interoperable with bank accounts. When this idea first came up, many people didn't understand it, because no country in Africa had done it, and we were the first to try it on the continent. But mobile money interoperability is actually fairly simple. It says, let us put all the banks in the country and all the mobile companies in the country on one common platform, so that you can move money from a bank account to one Momo account, to another account, to a bank account, to a Momo account, and make it all interoperable. It was not easy getting all these banks and all these mobile companies to agree to do this, but we were able to get them to do it. And so Ghana now is the first country in Africa to implement mobile money interoperability. And we can now move money from a bank account to a Momo account, from Airtel to Telecel to MTN, and all is working smoothly. And so effectively what we succeeded in doing with mobile money interoperability is to make Ghana's Momo account the same effectively as a bank account. Many people, in fact, don't go to banks these days. They do most of their transactions on the Momo. If somebody sends you money from abroad today, it arrives on your mobile phone. You don't have to go to Western Union anymore to queue to collect the money. Today you can sit in the comfort of your home and renew your national health insurance on your mobile phone, or buy electricity on your mobile phone. All of these are the benefits of mobile money interoperability. Most people use Momo to pay for NHIS, they put it in the NHIS bank account and so on. So we have done these three things. Of course, there are many other things that we have done, but I want to leave it here and move on to what I want to do as president. What I want to do as president. I believe that we have laid down a strong foundation. Of course, as we were going forward, we were hit by COVID. And COVID basically slowed down some of our progress. But now we are coming back up again. If you give me the opportunity to become president, there are a number of things that I want to bring to Ghana that I believe will help us. Because we've just been discussing this digitalization matter, let me start with one major reform that I am bringing to Ghana. If you look at how the developed countries live, you go to America, you go to the UK, Canada, Japan, Germany, Australia, how they live, their life is a bit easier than our life here. Because, and this is why many of us want to go there, because life appears a bit easier over there. Why does life appear easier in the advanced countries than our country? There's one system that for me is key to life in the advanced countries. They have what we call a credit system. That makes life very, very much easier than that. Under the credit system, in the advanced countries, if you are a worker, for example, and you want to buy a car, you want to buy a fridge, you want to buy furniture, you want to buy a television, you want to buy a house, the system, the credit system that operates there allows you to go and put a small deposit on the TV or the car or the fridge or the furniture or the house, and then you pay small, small, small. There is no pressure to look for cash to pay for all of it. So you find that immediately somebody leaves school, immediately they get a job, they'll go, you've heard, they've bought a car, they've bought a house. That is the credit system. That is the credit system that allows them to do that. In Ghana, on the other hand, everything is cash down. That is the nature of Africa. Everything is cash down. If you want to buy a TV, go and get your cash and pay for it. If you want to buy a car, go and get your cash and pay for it. You want to build a house, you have to build it yourself. So the cash system makes life harder for us. So we have been looking, and I wrote a book which I addressed this issue 14 years ago, before I became vice president, that Ghana and African countries have to bring the credit system. The credit system that makes life easier in the advanced countries, I am going to bring it to Ghana here. We are going to have it. And what is it? And so when we came, what is it in the advanced countries that allows them to have this credit system? In the advanced countries, every individual has a credit score. Every individual has a credit score. And why are they able to calculate a credit score for every individual? You have 3 pillars for the credit scoring system in the advanced countries and the credit system. 1, everybody has an identity card or an identity number. You have unique ID for everybody. So if I'm giving you credit, I need to know who you are. Otherwise you run away. So everybody is uniquely identified. That is one policy. Number 2, everybody has an address. You have a home address. Everybody has an address. If I give you a TV to pay small, and you run away, I should be able to come to your house and pick up my TV. So everybody has an address. Without an address system, the credit scoring cannot work. The credit system cannot work. The number 3, in the advanced countries, everybody has a bank account. That is the 3rd thing that is critical, because if you are going to pay your credit, you have to use the banking system to pay. So with those three things, they are able to generate credit scores through data integration for every individual. So when we came into Ghana, we have also over the last 8 years been putting this system in place. Initially, many people didn't get it. Where we are going, they say, why is this man consumed by digitalization? What does it have to do with the economy? Number one, we've done the Ghana card. So everybody in Ghana now is uniquely identified. You cannot escape. Everybody will know who you are. Number two, we have done a digital property address system. Every house in Ghana has a digital address. And in fact, I insisted that in anybody applying for a Ghana card, they have to provide their digital address. You remember, when you apply for your Ghana card, you have to bring your digital address. So everybody in Ghana now has a digital address. That is the second factor. We have passed that particular requirement. The third was the bank account. And we have done mobile money interoperability. So now everybody in Ghana has a bank account. If you have a Momo account or a traditional bank account. In fact, when they did the assessment last year, Ghana is the only country in Africa where you have 100% access to financial inclusion. 100% access to financial. Because if you don't have a Momo account, it's because you don't want one. You have access 100%. If you want a Momo account today, you get one. Then nothing is going to limit you. So the three key pillars for the credit system to come to Ghana have now been put in place. And so for the last 2 years, we have been working to begin the credit scoring system in Ghana. My expectation was that we will complete it next year and then launch it next year. But by the grace of God, we have completed the whole process as of now. It's done. So Ghana is going to start credit scoring from next month. Next month, on November the 7th, I will launch Ghana's credit scoring system. The whole of Africa, the only country with an effective credit scoring system is South Africa. Ghana will be the second country with an effective credit scoring system from next month. And it will change so much. Anybody with a Ghana card will have a credit score. Anybody with a Ghana, and that credit score can help you to access credit without even leaving your home. Right on your mobile phone, you can be given credit to buy a car, to buy a TV or whatever. And that will change our whole existence in Ghana. And that is one of the benefits of the digitalization that we have been doing. People suffer a lot. If a nurse is employed in Ghana and they have a colleague nurse in the UK, even if they are paid the same, because the UK has a credit system, the nurse in the UK will consume 10 times more goods than the nurse in Ghana. And so now we are going to change it and equalize opportunities across. So Ghana is going to have a credit scoring system starting next month. And that is a game changer for Ghana. Having said that, my major priority as a president will be agriculture. That will be my major priority as a president. Ghana is clearly very well endowed. God has given us a lot of fertile land, has given us a lot of water. And so it doesn't really make sense that basic commodities, rice, tomatoes, maize, onions, we are importing into Ghana, and we don't have to. So I want to, we have already been talking about agriculture. I want to even give higher priority to agriculture as a president. I want us to support our farmers with irrigation. We have the Volta Lake here, we should be able to use it for a lot of irrigation for our farmers. I want us to support them with the best technology in terms of seeds and fertilizer. But I also want, you will see that recently, for example, we have given every district in the country equipment for road construction. Every district has excavator, grader, roller, backhoe, tipper truck. So that what we'll do, I'm going to do similar for farmers. Every farming district is going to have a district agri-mechanization center. So we bring all farming equipment to the disposal and put all of that at the disposal of our farmers. Not all farmers can buy tractors and combine harvesters, but we can use all this equipment to help them in the farming process. And I believe that we can go very far in helping the farmers. The second thing that I want to do is to bring a new policy into Ghana to reduce the cost of electricity, because our electricity bills are too high. I'm sure you will agree with me. The electricity bills are too high, and so we need to bring them down. The reason why our electricity bills are high is because we are importing oil and gas to generate electricity, and we are bringing it from outside the country, and so we are paying international prices which are high. So when we bring it into Ghana, it results in higher cost of electricity. I want to take a bold decision next year by the grace of God to move Ghana away from oil and gas and go for solar power. Solar power to generate electricity. Solar power has many benefits. It's a renewable source. God has given it to us for free. We don't have to import and pay $1 of foreign exchange for the sun. Immediately we wake up in the morning, the sun is beating us. We are even running away from the sun. So the technology exists, and so we are going to harness solar power. Initially, we are going to harness 2,000 megawatts of solar power. Our consumption is less than 4,000 megawatts a year. So we will harness 2,000 megawatts of solar power, and we are going to have solar farms in every district. Every district will have solar farms. Harness 2,000 megawatts, put it in a grid, and that will bring down the cost of electricity by 50%. 50% reduction in the cost of electricity. And that will help so many businesses and individuals. It will reduce our cost of living because we spend a lot on electricity, and businesses will be able to expand production, because for now many businesses are not able to expand because the cost of electricity is so high. So I think that that is one area that I want to focus on immediately we come into office. If by the grace of God I am president, we will move Ghana away from oil and gas to solar power and do that. When I talk of solar, I'm also thinking of our fishermen. Our fishermen across have one major problem, and Ghana has been grappling with this problem for many, many years, and that is the access to premixed fuel. Many fishermen have the problem of accessing premixed fuel, and every time you have shortages, and we have been doing a lot of soul searching how to solve this problem. We've brought in some automation in the premixed fuel distribution, but doesn't seem to be sufficient. But by the grace of God, we found out that there are now new outboard motors that have come that don't need premixed fuel. New outboard motors that don't need premixed fuel. You can either go with solar or electric batteries. You don't need premixed fuel for the new outboard motors. So we quickly contacted the firms making these new outboard motors that don't need premix fuel and say, we need your technology in Ghana to help our fishermen. And so, that by the grace of God, by the end of this month, the pilot for the new outboard motors will begin. We are going to show all our fisher folks across the coast how these new outboard motors work. And so I assume that in the first week of November we'll begin the demonstration to all the fisher folks so that they don't need to worry about premix. The solar, once you are moving on your boat, it is charging your battery for you and you are moving along. You don't need any premix fuel. So it will save the fishermen a lot of money and a lot of worry, and it will stop the corruption in the distribution of premix fuel. We are also going to provide, and we have registered all the canoes. We have about 22,000 canoes registered. So we have the data. And what we are looking at is providing credit facilities to all the canoe owners so that they can acquire these outboard motors and just pay small over time, and then they will have their... So I'm very, very excited that this problem we are going to solve it. That we will use these outboard motors that don't have premix needs. We don't need to use premix fuel. The third area that I am very focused on, and which I want to address, is the area of jobs for our youth. It's a major problem for us. And the fundamental point is that if you don't produce things, you don't have jobs, isn't it? To create jobs, you must make things. You must offer services. So, a few months ago, I visited the Volta Star Textile Company in Japan. When I went there, because the parliamentary candidate had told me that the company was having problems. So we went there, and then I found out that there was no production taking place. That used to be Akosombo Textiles. There was no production taking place. And I said, what is the problem? And they said, well, before we were the ones making all these school uniforms for the senior high schools. You have over 700 senior high schools. So there's a lot of work going on. But they said that, oh, recently some people have started importing these things from China. So we don't have the contract anymore, we don't have the order. So that got me thinking, and I then came up with a new policy which I put in my manifesto. And that policy is Buy Ghana First policy. Buy Ghana First policy. I'm going to back it by law. By law, government, if it's going to procure anything, will have to look first into Ghana. As long as we are making that good or service in Ghana, we'll buy it in Ghana first. You can only be allowed to bring it from abroad if we cannot buy it in Ghana. So, the Voter Star and all of that, the Ministry of Education and all, will be there by law. They will have to give the contract to our Ghanaian firms so that we can produce and create jobs for our youth. And it's going to apply to everything. So the Buy Ghana First policy is coming, and it will help our youth get jobs. The second thing that I'm going to do in the private sector for the women traders, we are bringing what we call a Women's Trade Empowerment Fund. This will give soft loans to women traders to be able to expand their businesses. And when women traders expand their businesses, then they can also create more jobs. But we are creating a Women's Trade Empowerment Fund and not a women's bank, because a bank's requirements are very different from that of a funds requirement. Because if you have to, a small trader has to go to a bank, the documentation the bank will start asking, they will run away. So the Women's Trade Empowerment Fund will have very simple procedures. All a woman will need, a owner of a business, to access the fund will be their Ghana card. That is all the requirement that will be needed so that we can expand economic activity in the private sector. I also have new policies I'm bringing with regards to chieftaincy. Regards to chieftaincy, I believe that Ghana has made a mistake. Since independence, we have been governing this country by sidelining the chiefs. And I believe it has been a mistake, and we should go back and correct it. It's not too late, so I'm proposing an amendment of the Chieftaincy Act. My good friend Kofi Jamese was the one who was working with me on the manifesto for this. We are proposing an amendment to Section 63 of the Chieftaincy Act to give small powers to the chiefs in the governance of this country. There are so many cases that can be resolved in the palaces that currently go to court. And there's no need for that. But also we have the issue of discipline in our communities. If our chiefs don't have the authority, you will have a lot of indiscipline. And so we are going to empower our chiefs to do that. And not only are we just going to give them empowerment on paper, we are going to resource them. For now, government only pays paramount chiefs, and it's not a living allowance. It's very minor. We are going to pay living allowances, not only to the paramount chiefs, but to the queen mothers and the divisional chiefs as well, so that we lift up the entire chieftaincy institution. I also want to help bring in a new policy to help the churches and the Islamic institutions. I think that for the longest time, the churches have proven, and the Islamic institutions, they have proven to be our first and most reliable development partner. The churches are our first, and the Islamic institutions are our most reliable development partners. The work they do in the development of this country is phenomenal. You think of all the schools the churches and the Islamic institutions have built. Think of all the hospitals. If you take them outside Ghana, Ghana will collapse. And so, but government doesn't do anything for them. Everything that the churches and the Islamic institutions are doing is through donations. Fees of Eden. That's what they used to do, their work. But when the foreigners come to build a hospital or a school, we call them development partners. So if they are bringing some equipment to a hospital, we say you don't have to pay duty because of your status as a development partner. If a church is bringing in equipment, we say go and pay duty. Islamic institution, go and pay duty. I'm going to change that. I'm going to classify all the churches and the Islamic institutions as development partners entitled to the same incentives. And I believe that once we give you that status, the churches and the Islamic institutions will get a lot of support. But a lot of people are not willing to support you because they give you something, you will cause them to come and pay duty on it, and they don't want to give it to you. So we will change that for you. Togbeo, Mama, there's also a conversation going on in Ghana, which is known as the LGBTQ+ conversation, where the practice of men marrying men and women marrying women has come on. Under a Bawumia presidency, it will never happen in Ghana. We will never agree. Not today, not tomorrow. We will never agree. The Bible doesn't allow it. The Quran doesn't allow it. Our traditions don't allow it, our culture doesn't allow it, our values don't allow it. We will not allow it. We will not allow it in our country. It will destroy our society. And so we will protect our society no matter the cost. We will stand firm and make sure we protect the sanctity of our nation. So we will not allow it. I want to bring policies that will uplift the nation. I want to help persons with disabilities. Persons with disabilities have been discriminated against for a long time. I want us to put it right. Under my government, one policy for persons with disabilities is to allow them all to attend tertiary education for free. We will all have free access to tertiary education. And government will also have a policy where we reserve a percentage of all public sector recruitment for persons with disabilities, so that we bring them into the system. We are also going to make it easier for nurses and doctors. Before, we had a car import duty waiver for teachers, nurses and doctors. It was cancelled by the former president, but I am going to bring it back for teachers, nurses and doctors. We will restore it. We are also going to make it easier for people to obtain passports. Today, if you want a passport, you get a form, add your birth certificate and other documents and so on. But when you look at the passport form, which I took my time to look at it, in fact, what is interesting is that at the time we were doing the Ghana card, I made sure that all the questions on the passport form were also on the Ghana card, and for this reason that I made for sure. So if you look at the passport form, all the questions we are asking, what is your mother's name, what is your father's name, what is your hometown, all of it is on the Ghana card. All of it. So from next year, by the grace of God, anybody who has a Ghana card and wants a passport will not need to fill any form anymore. We will print it for you and you pay your fee. We have all the information. We have your biometrics, we have your iris, everything. All the information, your picture, everything is on the Ghana card. So we'll be able to do so. We are also going to make it easier in the area of driver's licenses. Today, Ghana's driver's license is valid for 6 years. But every 2 years, you have to go and renew it. Every 2 years. We are going to change that. The new driver's license regime, it will be valid for 10 years and you renew every 5 years, you will renew. So increase less pressure on all of us. As I bring my remarks to a close, I just want to make the point that this election is about two main contestants. Myself and the former president are contesting this election. And he has been president before. Let's remind ourselves of that. So if we vote for him, he can only be president for 4 years. And then he's gone. For the next election, he'll have to come back to Keta to give an account for what he has done. But for me, by the grace of God, I can be president for 8 years. Which means in 4 years' time, I'll be right here in Keta to account for what I have done. I'll have to give an accounting of what I have done. And now I know a project very dear to your heart is the Keta port. I have to give an accounting as to what I have done with the Keta port. I have to account for it. The town roads, I have to account for the roads, isn't it? So because I know that I have to come and account, I'm going to work very, very hard to make sure when I come, you will know what we have done. So I believe that because of accountability, you should give me the chance. But you've also seen my work as vice president. As vice president, many people are saying that I have been the most effective vice president. It's not me who's saying it. That's what many people are saying. If that is the case, then I have passed the vice president exam. So promote me to go and become president of the Republic of Ghana. Give me promotion so that I can become president of the Republic. I believe I can do a lot more as president with all the full authority. And so I want your support so that I can do it, so that we can get this. But I'm not alone. We have a parliamentary candidate here who is Hope Lekete. And let us vote. We are both number one. Dr. Bawumia and Lekete are number one on the ballot. Help us and let us make history. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Akenami. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the next President of the Republic of Ghana. Tokyo Mamao. Miako Ijia, Alabro Meba, presidential candidate. Abana Nemai, if you are probably in Yaba, a Bonafia.